Hi everyone, welcome back to the marketing crash course. This week we're going to be talking about SWOT analysis and specifically how AI can play a part. So we're going to start by defining what SWOT analysis is. So this is actually an acronym, meaning each letter stands for a different word. And so when we have the S, we're talking about strengths. And then with the W is weaknesses. The O stands for opportunity, and the T stands for threats. So now that we have this defined, we also need to define this quadrant. So this side on the left means this is good. Okay, and then on this side, this is not so good. And then on this top quadrant, this means that it is internal. And then this lower part of the quadrant means external. So now we're going to go over each portion. So strengths, according to our diagram, is a good thing that we can identify internally. And so you're going to ask yourself things like, what are we doing well? What are our advantages? And I would also say, what are our assets? And this does not have to be financial. This can be within your platform, your product, or your brand. Now we're going to move on to the next one, which is weaknesses. So according to our diagram, it's something bad or not so good happening internally. And so for this, you can basically ask yourself the opposite of these questions. So the first one is, what are we not doing well? The next one could be, what systems are broken or are not working efficiently? And then the last question could also be, where does the team struggle? Now, this is the first half of SWOT, standing for S and W, meaning that you are identifying what you do good and not so good internally. Now we're going to move on to opportunities and threats, which are what are you doing good and not so good externally, or what is the opportunities from your competitors in the market and what are the threats that you're facing up against. So for opportunities, you can ask, who will value our strengths? Another big thing for a product is market fit. So you could also ask, what gaps are in the market that our product or company fills in for? And then let's move on to threats. So similar to opportunities, it's going to be an external thing that is maybe not so good. So first one that comes to mind is, what are competitors doing better than us? And I think that something that is a super big threat nowadays is the new wave of AI. And so basically, once you have your SWOT analysis chart filled in, now you are going to really think about it with your team. But something that I believe is changing the way that we go about SWOT analysis is AI. So a really big thing that's happening right now is that ChatGPT is known for pulling information off the internet from Wikipedia, Reddit, and Quora mainly. And if you don't know what these are, they're basically forums that people can go into, usually experts or people who know a lot about a topic or who have a lot to say about a topic. And people will go into these platforms, ask a question, and then other people, community members, can chime in with their opinion. And these places are known for having, pretty good reputations with majority accurate information. And so what you can do is you can go into platforms such as Reddit in Quora through ChatGPT or another AI tool like Perplexity and basically crawl them for information that either have to do with your industry, your product, your company, or even just the land of the market and seeing what threats are happening right now. So, to recap, we have tools such as Reddit and Quora. And what you're going to want to do is start here by going to ChatGPT. Okay? And then once you're in ChatGPT, you can ask it a question. Okay? This is your little question that you're asking ChatGPT. And I would say something like, hey ChatGPT, what are people saying about my company on Reddit? And so this chatbot will go into these platforms and they will crawl it, and you will actually get human insights. Now, the main thing about a SWOT analysis is you don't just want to use what's up here, because that can be very subjective and can be very swayed and skewed. You want to get actual human truths. And so something that I always ask ChatGPT when making this query is, don't overcomplicate this. Make it simple. Make it say a human truth. What are people feeling? What are the emotions behind their message? And you can say, based off this report, fill in a SWOT analysis for me. So you get the output from ChatGPT, right, which are insights. That's really what you want. Okay, so you get these insights, and then you tell ChatGPT to put this into your own SWOT analysis chart. So now you're not only using your own knowledge of your business, which is very valuable. You should be using this because you are the one who knows your business the best, especially when it comes to strengths and weaknesses. However, when it really comes to opportunities and threats, and even strengths and weaknesses that your customers might acknowledge before you even have the chance to. And so you are going to have all of this information into a chart, and now you can add these pieces of insights all throughout your chart. And also here, AI insights, and here. Perfect. Okay, so now once you're at this step, it's super important that you just don't stop here, because you have the chart, but it's just a chart. It's really how you use it as a tool that matters the most. And so what you want to do is read over this document with your team and make actionable plans. What are you going to create in these opportunities, in these gaps of opportunity? What are the threats that you are going to make defensible measures on? What are your weaknesses that you can work towards making better systems, making better processes for your team? And then lastly, what are your strengths? What are the things that you're going to keep doing or double down on to grow your business? Now, once you have this document, you should have a very clear idea of not only what you think about your company, but also what other people are actually saying on the internet about your company, which is something that gets overlooked a lot. And Reddit and Quora and Wikipedia especially are filled with information, so it is going to be very hard to manually do this. You might get a couple of insights here and there, but to really get a full picture and not have such a subjective opinion on what you're good at and what you're not good at, you can utilize tools like ChatGPT, you can utilize tools like Perplexity to crawl these sites with a query and get these human truths as insights that you can then add to your SWOT analysis to have a more cohesive picture of your state of your business. So yeah, If you like this video, if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. We'd be happy to get back to you. And let us know how it went making your own SWOT analysis with AI.